Hey, what's up you guys? This is Claire, the host of Claire and Fam, or StrongFamUniDID. We are changing our system name. We really like it. StrongFamUniDID with the ID at the end. I'll put it like right here so you guys can see. We are filming a reaction video to the TRISHA PAYTAS online YouTube drama. I'm gonna say it's drama. I woke up a couple days ago and I saw a tweet, I think, about TRISHA PAYTAS multiple personalities, and I think I've heard like people talking about TRISHA PAYTAS before with multiple personalities, so I didn't think too much of it. I kept scrolling and I saw a tweet by DissociaDID asking, should we do a live response? And I'm thinking, yes, oh my gosh. Luckily, it had already all been filmed, so I woke up and I started watching right away. I watched Trisha's video first just because with someone with the ID, I was so intrigued to, you know, meet a new system, if that's what the video was about. But kind of how Nin was a little shocked while watching the video, I had a lot of the same first reactions. I had to really watch the video a few times before I could even move on to DissociaDID's video response. I think Nin handled it very, very well, seeing as it was a live reaction. I think that she was still very gentle and took care to take care of Trisha in maybe a way that Trisha has never, I don't know, maybe been dealt with on the internet through drama, so I hope to be just as careful. I am not here to diagnose. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a counselor at all. I do have my bachelor's degree in social science and my master's in education, but again, that just allows me to use my critical analysis skills to just see what everyone's saying and maybe be devil's advocate as we have been for Trisha in the past. So I'm going to invite my husband, Liam, to watch and criticize this video with me. And we're actually going to start with a video that we filmed 3 months ago in January after Trisha came out as a trans man. So this is our response to that. This is Liam. He's our husband. If you didn't know, if you're new to our channel, I am the host. So I'm Claire. I'm 25 along with the body. We just turned 25. And I'm host just because I'm out the most and deal with everyday things. You want to say anything?
I'm Liam. What's up, y'all? Go check out my YouTube.
I'll link it down below. And we'll also link the video that we're referencing down below. It's called WTF is Gender and Trisha Paytas F to M response.
Let's back up and talk about Trisha Paytas and like what gender is and how it doesn't have to match your sex. And a lot of trans people, I mean, I'm not trans, but watching, it just seems like they get really offended by someone that, like Trisha, who would want to go by he, him pronouns, even though they're displaying themselves as a person of the feminine persuasion. But, like, why do we care? Like, if we're gonna change someone's pronouns because they took T or because they transitioned or got surgery or because they say my name's different, why won't we do it for someone who doesn't want to do any of those things either? Why can't they just express male gender?
Just wanted to add that.
I agree. I mean, at first, I just freaking hated Trisha Paytas. I was like, what the hell are you doing, you know? But actually, the more I started watching reaction videos of her and stuff like that, of different interviews she did, the more she actually started to make sense.
People attack her, and they
jump to a lot of conclusions, and they don't let her express
out.
Like how she's actually feeling. And although I may not agree with why she does certain things, her explanation behind it, like, makes sense. I don't know. Am I wrong?
No, not at all. I just think there's no better source to believe than people's lived experiences, and people like Liam have lived in years of pain because of things that they did not choose. So, also, how do we know? Trisha Paytas talks about mental illness and possibly believing she has borderline personality disorder, which I have. But, who's to say she doesn't have dissociative identity disorder?
Who's to say?
And one of her alters is completely female, and the other is completely male, and it's just tearing her apart inside.
Interesting.
Ever thought about that?
I made
Because
this
that happened to
video
me.
in January.
Boys in my system, I refused them. I told everyone in my life I would hate to have a baby son, which just made me hate myself because I didn't even know I had men inside of me. And how dare people go on here and tell her that her experience is wrong? I don't know.
Am I wrong?
She's wacky, and she might be offensive, but why are you clicking on it? Like,
Offensive, but
Yeah.
come on.
no, it's
If you're-
going to offend you.
Main purpose is to just seek her out to cause hate. I would challenge you to look further into it and really listen to both sides, because I don't think anyone's coming from hate.
Okay, so there is my proof that I was already, critically analyzing Trisha, just in reference to my experiences.
It's important to really learn yourself and figure out what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Because with someone like DID, you may just think that you're trans because you feel male sometimes, but it could be a lot more going on than that. So, especially if you have trauma, try to get some help and figure out what's going on before you make any serious decisions about, changes and everything like that.
Yeah, I would say, Claire, I identify so strongly with being a female. I always have. I feel like I always will. And so that's why, I just never really wanted a son. I wanted a daughter. I just felt like I would be a better mother to a daughter. But literally when Andrew presented himself to me, I was like, I'm not depressed. I'm not the depressed one. I'm not the one with these super dark memories. It's this little boy who's been living in me, who I've been denying this whole time. But of course I would never transition. But he likes to go by he, him pronouns, and so does Kyle. They wear more masculine clothes, never usually tight, never wear makeup, neither of them. And to discount them my whole life, I would be like, oh, I'm ugly today because I chose to wear no makeup and a bun. And that is what I almost died. I almost disintegrated myself with self-hate. And just listening to Trish talk about her maybe alters and trying to describe them, and it just sounds like she's in a lot of pain, and it comes from a lot of persecution, it sounds like. So we're just here to listen, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So we are going to watch Dear Anthony Padilla. This is Trisha's reaction to the world's reaction of her DID video. So we're going to watch this.
Extremely heated and extremely emotional right now, and this video is specifically to Anthony Padilla, who I fucking loved, admired, respected. He is the one person, one YouTuber, aside from Shane and the people that are my friends, he's the one YouTuber that I wasn't friends with or had any prior connection to, that I was like, that guy is so sweet. I met him at YouTubers React one time, and I was like, you know what, he had prior, I'm sorry, I'm just really, really heated, and it's not just about him, it's about other things, but anyways. And I met him at YouTubers React, and we were sitting across from each other, and this was, I don't know, a year or two ago, and he was so kind and so nice and introduced himself, and wasn't one of those YouTubers who didn't act like he didn't know who I was, and vice versa. It was just very sweet and very nice, and a lot of people have preconceived notions about me, that I'm this crazy bitch and all this stuff like that, and I make videos about people. Here's the thing, in case you guys haven't noticed, I don't make videos about people who don't.
Okay, so you can call yourself the C word, crazy, all you want. I just do not think that we should perpetuate the idea that people with mental illnesses are crazy, and Trisha is not shy about sharing the fact that she thinks she has mental illness, so I don't like that she equates herself to crazy, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I just do not think that she should use that word in reference to anyone else. It perpetuates the idea.
Yeah, I think it's kind of just denial of her own stuff, you know, rejection, like self-induced phobia.
Constantly, and then the minute I open up about it, I'm shitted on, and I'm told, no, you're not. Case in point, Anthony Padilla. Fuck you, Anthony.
I didn't see anything about Anthony.
Pretending to be some sort of mental health advocate, to be a spokesperson for mental health and depression. You yourself saying you suffered from depression and anxiety. Oh, I could just be like, no, you didn't. Fuck you, and fuck you for like acting like some sort of white knight. Claiming you have a dissociative identity disorder is not a cool excuse to mock people in the community and call them crazy. When did I mock them? And you know what? Hey, newsflash to you and DissociaDID, the girl that I was talking about.
Okay, you cannot call DissociaDID. Their name is Dissociated, and they have built a platform for me, myself, my community, and your apparently community. You, like, they are the nicest, most giving, and just eloquently put person to learn about DID from. Not only is it peer-reviewed and psychological and everything's facts, but from such a beautiful soul that's been through so much, yet cares so much. I just think that Trisha really, 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 really needed to do her research here.
It was very emotion-based, definitely.
DissociADID's videos are not hard to access. They're free for everybody.
Yeah, and honestly, if you think that that type of content is crazy, then I don't think you're really watching, because all of the videos are educational. And I don't really,
Well, Trisha's excuse is that she didn't call anyone crazy. She just said that if she was watching, she would have said that person looks crazy, maybe to an outside standpoint. Again, that is just perpetuating this idea that people with DID are crazy because of our symptoms, but then also saying, I have those same symptoms, they're just as valid. It doesn't make any sense at all. Something about I didn't want to scare people by coming out with this video, and that was never something I was afraid of. I knew that having DID was nothing to be afraid of, or that I was no danger to people. However, I did lose a ton of friends, and I did lose my family, but it wasn't because I was afraid. I think people like Trisha who bring this stuff up and say, hey, I might be this, and it's crazy, and I'm scary, and I don't want to be. It
a lot of self-hatred.
It's all stemming from a place of not understanding, not knowing, and not accepting your alters, or your past, or your traumas. So I just really, really, really hope that from this she can, apologize to Nin, because no one in Dissociated system deserves to be spoken to like this. At all.
Being completely respectful, like in no way ever said anything bad about you, and for you to just out of the blue, like, I don't know, call somebody out like that.
There's plenty of us online. I have videos. Plenty of us. There's no excuse. There's just no excuse.
No.
You're on YouTube. Guess what? People are entitled to say whatever the fuck they want about your video.
So why are you making this video? If you are entitled to say what you would like about their video,
then why are you so mad?
They had complete entitlement to talk about a video where you dragged them in.
Yeah,
you can talk about yourself all you want on your channel, which is what you say you were doing. It's kind of selfish, because this is a disorder of people who suffer from trauma. So coming at them, yelling and throwing your arms and punching and using cuss words is probably the least likely way to get them to understand you, and probably the most likely way to get them triggered.
Straight up.
Something that we deal with every single day. So just putting that out there. Your video was criticized critically, not
It's called freedom of speech. You put something out there, get ready to be fucking criticized, baby. All I said was like, yeah, like watching that, I could be like, oh, that girl seems crazy.
No, she doesn't.
In what way?
You watched my video and you made an assumption saying I'm mocking people with dissociative identity disorder. What the fuck? Did you fucking watch it, you dumb little
Called
prick?
everyone
Did
with
you
DID
fucking
crazy
watch the
lady.
I have suffered with identity issues
hit.
for
Please
so
stop hitting.
fucking long. I never had an identity develop in my I've been diagnosed with this. I've gone to things. Call
She
what
said
you
she
fucking
was
want, multiple personality.
diagnosed.
She just said I've been diagnosed with things, but yet in her other video,
She
she
said-
clearly says I've never been diagnosed with anything except what? Depression? I'm pretty sure
I
that
don't
was
remember.
it.
Yeah, she said she was self-diagnosed.
So what?
Let's keep going.
DID, which are also very separate things, which you did not get.
No,
from
they're
that.
not.
Hold up, wait. I got my textbook, guys, for this one. I took psychology this term, and dissociative identity disorder definition. A dissociative disorder involving extensive memory disruptions along with the presence of two or more distinct identities or personalities, formerly called multiple personality disorder.
They're the same disorder.
This is a current textbook, guys, of psychology.
They are a disorder. It has changed what I thought adult life would be. It has changed my freedom. It has changed everything about my life. And the reason they don't call it multiple personality disorder anymore is because there's nothing wrong with the personalities.
Right, it's not a negative to have multiple
The
personalities.
problem is the amnesia and
It's
the blockage.
Dissociation.
And I have worked very, very hard with myself, my partner, and my therapists to have the best communication with my system.
Someone has dissociative identity disorder like this girl does in the video. It doesn't mean she is the king all know-it-all. Oh,
It does.
It does.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry to break it to you, but they are the only big, like, them and their partner are the only big DID advocates that, like, I don't even think they know I exist. I have a ton of more friends in the community, but I don't even feel like I'm, like, great. Like, I would be graced to be in Dissociated's president, so I just don't. I can't believe they would go after them like this. This is so damaging. This is so disgusting. Do not drag our community into this.
you have DID, or I have it, you don't, and fuck you, Anthony, to be like, to mock
Nobody said
fuck
that.
you. Do you know 1 ounce of the struggle I have fucking daily trying to figure out who?
In her last video, she talks about how DID isn't a struggle that she deals with, and it's
Not a disorder.
It's not a disorder, and it's not something she has any issues with. So that's also very contradicting for her to be like, this is something I struggle with all the time. When her last video, she explicitly says she doesn't.
The fuck I am at 31? You have no fucking clue. You have no fucking clue. And I am so pissed when people want to try and tell me how I feel, what I think, what's in my mind, what I identify as, what I constantly am going through.
We're all just listening to you, Trish.
We're all just listening to you.
Oh, okay, it's more than just naming personalities, Trish. Well, that's what I fucking do. That's what I fucking do. And I open up about it and then get shitted on and be like, you're not this, you're not. You can't watch someone's videos and constantly be like, which personality is this, Trish? Oh, this girl has a mental illness, and then shit on them the minute they open up about the struggles they do face, and they are facing me every fucking day. Do you think I like waking up not knowing who I'm going to be that day? Or do you think I like being in relationships where all of a sudden I do switch? You have never been in a fucking relationship with me. You are not
We
close
don't
to
know
me.
her.
My own family, any
None of
boyfriends,
us.
they know I switch. I have a switch, and
about
it's the
that?
fucking scariest thing to live with.
So the reason I really got diagnosed with DID was because I was displaying intense switches in my romantic relationship, specifically to the point where I was getting physical and didn't know what I was doing, what I was saying, who I was, and I had to get help. I went to dialectical behavioral therapy in Portland, and the man who owned that clinic was also a DID specialist who I got to see and talk to about my system, and that's really, what sparked it all was, now that I know, it was Jade in my relationship using unhealthy coping mechanisms to protect me. But we had to unlearn that and create a relationship between me and Jade and my husband and Jade. And I think, you know, Trisha needs to be in therapy. I don't know if that's wrong to say, but someone that's claiming they need help and no one's listening online. Her videos got more dislikes than likes, so people aren't validating. I think the best place for her to go would be therapy.
Yeah, I think it's a really important, you know, point just to like throw out there too, that you know, if you do have a mental disorder, it doesn't mean you're a bad person, doesn't mean you're wrong for the way you think or you act, but it doesn't mean that you can't seek out help. Like, everybody could use some help. I need help sometimes, like, and Claire going to therapy and experiencing all that things only has helped me because I just am learning the tools along with her.
I honestly get really upset because Trish mentions seeing so many therapists and never being diagnosed and trying to self-diagnose, and I've been down those roads, but I was poor. I had no one supporting me. I had no money, and I still made it through $100, $200 a week for therapy. I worked my butt off, and I took loans for school for it, and it just seems like if I could do all of that and do my get my education before I started my channel and before I started telling my story, so that I did it in the right way that was educational and destigmatized DID, why can't she? She's so much older. She has so much more time and money.
That's what I mean.
But of course, I don't know her life.
I mean, yeah, I can't assume anything about it. But
of course, I strongly encourage her. I hope that she sees this video. That would be amazing. Please, Trish, seek out a DID specialist. If you think that's what you've got, they can help you.
yeah,
They can help you sort things
process,
out.
Yeah, you'll learn a lot about it in the process and not have to feel all this anger and rejectment because you actually be educated on it. Like, put in the time.
My whole thing is like, you know, for the greater, hopefully someone can relate to this, I'm gonna just go ahead and put this out there. But when someone with a large ass platform who's supposedly trying to, you know, spread awareness as well, both of those fucking people, Anthony Padilla, DissociaDID, whatever the fuck, like, that is so harmful. Imagine, Anthony, imagine
What you
someone's
did
like,
was harmful too.
you don't look like you have depression. Or just get over it. You have money, you're a YouTuber.
It's not the fact that she shared her feelings online about having DID. It's the fact that she tried to drag other people into the conversation. Like, she could have just talked about her feelings, and I feel like it probably would have been more okay than this. Like, you don't mention anybody else's name in that video. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Fuck you. I was shocked when they said move to trash. Fuck you, piece of shit. For bandwagoning on it. What? Because it's a cool thing to do. I get some hate on a video about something that I'm dealing with. I said I mean no disrespect.
Thousands of other people on YouTube and millions of other people across the world are also dealing with it. And I am poor. I have no parents. I have no family. I have nothing. I literally don't have anything right now because of this disorder. And I just have to listen
Watch
to
people,
this.
Yeah.
To the fucking community. I saw her, I was like, oh wow, yeah, I would probably think that person was crazy if I didn't know how she was feeling. And I was like, oh no, actually that's it. But like, I can look at something and be like, oh yeah, they look crazy, just like people do to me. And I can look at you, Anthony, and be like, what a fucking hypocritical, moronic piece of shit. And I'm just saying that because you
that hurt you to other
advocate
people
for the very thing that you're telling me I don't have, and that I'm mocking because I'm sharing my fucking experience, what's in my fucking head, what's in my fucking heart, what I have to wake up
Why
daily
couldn't you
with.
share it with a
And what I have to
licensed
deal with daily on the
therapist?
internet. Do you have any time to see which personality is this Trish? Oh, which personality is Trish? You never know what personality. Dating Trish is like dating 8 different people. Well, fuck off it is. But then the minute I say something, yeah, okay, Trish,
No,
whatever.
I wish that you would have said it in a very, very, very
Such a
eloquent
fan
way.
of the fucking series you do. I was especially fucking Anthony. And when I saw this, I was like, you know what? This is something that I can talk about too. Like, I was so happy to like see that in that capacity. And like, let's talk about it, because so many people have mocked me for it or insinuated I have something like that, and then the minute I talked about it, go past and watch fucking videos, do your fucking research before you say I'm mocking something that I have to fucking deal with daily.
True.
In relationships. It's why I'm gonna be fucking alone forever, because I do switch and I have no idea what's
So, we did do our research, and I did go back, and okay, so, first of all, Trisha, a little lesson from history/English teacher Claire. Dissociation is a psychological term meaning mild detachment from your immediate surroundings or to a more severe detachment from physical and emotional experiences. However, it's also a noun, which is a person, place, or thing, right? So it's the state of being disconnected. When you're dissociation is the state of being disconnected. The word disassociation is only a transition verb, and it means to detach from association. Well, people with DID, their alters have amnesia blocks. There is no association. There is no detaching from association. There is only the state of being disconnected or being present. Just to clear that up. So we watched TRISHA Paytas's, we watched her video, Draw My Life, and again, we're not here to talk about anyone's trauma or say whether they are valid or not for their trauma. However, I was just going to mention how easy it was for me to hear about some hardships in Trisha's life from one video. It sounds like Trisha, her parents were first divorced when she was 3 years old. Her dad left her in a custody battle, moved across the country, and Trisha claims that her attachment problems started then. Then I hear that she got a stepdad number 1, who was divorced from her mom, a stepdad number 2 who was then divorced from her mom. So that's 3 divorces total by the age about 15, I think. She also said she had eating disorders, was self-deprecating. She made up stories about her life in California when she lived with her dad for a couple years, but she quit school at 15. So I just think that we should probably be a little bit more gentle when assessing and analyzing the way that she speaks and the word choice that she uses, because I'm 25 and I've been in school my whole life. And of course I have this huge vocabulary, but I, minored in psychology. I have a social science degree. Of course I'm going to know more. And I went to therapy and I watched DissociaDID's videos, so I like to educate myself. Also, let's bring this video back around to is Trisha trans or not. She also speaks about having fertility problems in a lot of her videos, and having a mustache and bushy eyebrows as a kid, which I just, think about, could that be because of a hormone imbalance? Could that be why she has these ideas of being trans? Is it really DID? I mean, childhood trauma is necessary for DID, and I've told you about 3 different divorces she's went through, and losing her dad to, moving away. It's not hard for anyone to do their research, guys. It's really not.
On both ends, really.
And I think that the only way that we can, whittle out the fakers is by throwing so much love at them, throwing so much support that that person who maybe thought they had to fake for attention would never need to, would understand the differences and maybe understand that they don't have this or they do have this. It's just there's nothing wrong with supporting. Because in the end, if it backfires, it's not on you. If this backfires and she's like, oh, I actually don't. I was diagnosed with something else.
It's nothing to do with you.
It has nothing to do with you, and it won't damage your reputation for trying to support somebody. I don't want to tell anyone that they are wrong for reacting the way that they reacted. You are valid. You are important. You're safe on our channel. Trish, please reach out to us or DissociaDID. Please try and get educated as much as you can for your own sake and your alter's sake. Having good communication within your system, I promise, is going to make your mental health a lot better. Doesn't mean that you will have no mental health issues, but we all have a health meter, and we can be healthy or not. We all need to be healthy.
Especially now.
Yep, wash your hands of this.
Wash your
So
hands.
we didn't necessarily finish out our video because our roommate came home,
Yeah, but I think we got enough.
but I'm pretty sure we got our point across, just that, you know, we think there's no harm in doing your research for anybody, and there's no harm in just being as supportive and positive about people's lived experiences, or at least what people are saying they're going through, just to be supportive and teaching them in a positive way. Again, we really applaud DissociaDID for their response video, and we've watched a ton of other videos, and we applaud you guys too for putting your opinions out, but specifically DissociaDID for being so gentle. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, let us know what you think, and if you could share this video with Nin or DissociaDID, that'd be really awesome. I'd love to meet them and hear their opinion. All right, thank you guys for watching.
Thanks.
Bye.
Peace.